And so for this thing here, they replaced the capacitor, but they didn't connect the thermals. Was that the problem?
Well, we're at 60 psi.
That good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pressurized and then shut off.
Okay. So where are the thermals located that they forgot to do?
These right here. These are the thermal overloads.
So they didn't do were they clicked off? Or?
Yeah.
So the thermal overloads for the capacitor were not, what, on or off?
They weren't. They didn't trip them. So
they didn't trip them. They were, okay, all right.
So these were tripped probably because the capacitor was bad.
Okay.
I'm assuming this is probably the one.
Okay.
Maybe.
I don't know. Okay.
So it was either that one or this one. So.
And then is this the way this panel typically, I'm putting this on video, by the way, so I can remember something. But,
this is your well pump.
Yep.
This is the heater right here.
Okay.
This is the air compressor.
Yep.
This is your light switch, and that's your main breaker.
Okay. Okay. So if not a capacitor, what was the other name he had? This is probably what he was talking about when he said the actuator, but it's really a capacitor. Okay. And the thermal's underneath
your contactor. And then these are the two reset buttons for the thermal.
So you just had to push those is all you had to do?
Sometimes you got to push them really hard. Some of the newer boxes you got to push real hard.
Okay.
But you just press them and you'll hear them. You'll physically hear them click.
Okay.
And then it'll start.
Then we've got, this is on 60 psi.
Yes.
Now. So that's good. We've got the air compressor plugged in. The air compressor runs off of this thing right here.
That
right?
one, yes.
And what is this thing called?
That's a pressure switch.
That's a pressure switch. Okay.
This is the air compressor pressure switch, so it has like a high and a low. And then this is your main pressure switch for the system.
That's the main pressure switch. Okay. And then we've got the bleeder valve is located underneath the tank. Is that a bleeder valve? Is that what we're calling that?
Yeah, so that's where you would drain the tank out.
And when do we need to drain the tank out periodically?
Yeah, it was already drained, so it's up to operating now. So we're just draining the.
And it's kind of about more or less halfway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. And if that gets to be what? Too high or too low? If
this gets down too low, the water line itself, then you know you're over pressurized in the tank, and you'll start seeing that down the system. It'll start introducing air to the system. Okay.
And when that happens, how do people know that? Will
They'll feel
hiss
it.
or
It'll
pressure?
You'll get air shots.
Gotcha. Okay. And then this gauge here, I don't know how you saw the water in here. It's so
it's
bad.
kind of murky. It might actually be up here somewhere.
I don't know if these things clean out. Does this need to be replaced?
Yeah, you can, or you can shut these valves off and take these out. Yeah. And you can do like a wire brush, a long brush in there. They're pretty fragile, but trying to get them to seal back up is pretty difficult.
How expensive are those usually? Is that
these?
Yeah.
I don't know if they even make them anymore.
Okay. So and that is the gauge to tell us where the water is in the tank.
Yeah, your sight glass.
Okay.
For where the water level is allegedly in the tank.
Okay. And are those on or off?
It's on. But sometimes these get clogged with iron.
Sediment or whatever. So is this supposed to be on or off?
Yeah, on.
So it's on all the way, and this one here is on all the way too?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So I'll just leave this air compressor the way it is now.
Yeah.
And just kind of let it do its thing for a few days.
Okay.
And then if you guys want to, you guys have good pressure or whatever, you guys can have to shut that valve off.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Not going to hurt nothing. And then shut this breaker off. So shut the valve and then turn that breaker off. So, yeah, it should have water again.
Oh, great.
Did the water go all the way off this morning? It did. Okay. And this thing, and what did you just say about this?
That's your air compressor.
That's air compressor.
It's operating right now. So like I was just telling him, probably just leave that air compressor on for a few days just to kind of regulate itself.
Okay.
Because it's running off this pressure switch. this back pressure switch here. So
is our normal way to operate the well to always have this on, and to always leave the air compressor plugged in?
It's gonna drop this down.
Okay.
And as you guys use water,
yeah,
and it's gonna kick that on, this pressure switch on to turn the air compressor on, just to kind of keep this always full.
Okay.
So of air. So, but recommend putting in white water air compressor and or new tanks.
And the air compressor on top of this tank is about how much, Chris?
I think they're around $3,500.
Around $3,500. Okay. And then if you did the 4 or 5 tanks over here, which would get rid of the air compressor,
it'd get rid of this whole tank.
The whole thing
would go away.
And those are about 1,300 times 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'd have to make a manifold kind of thing around. So.
Okay. What's this bad boy here? What do you ever got to do with that?
That's your system gate valve.
Okay. So if you want to ever turn everything off,
that's where you turn it off. But when you turn this off,
yeah,
if you ever shut that valve off,
yeah,
make sure the well pump is off.
Okay.
Because there's no in and out, so it tees out there to the homes.
Okay, and so
that should be turned on too.
Because otherwise you're trying to run a pump that doesn't have any water in it, which is
it has water. It's just deadheading, right? So you're just pushing.
Okay.
It's just sitting down there heating up water is all it's doing.
Okay.
So.
And this is for the heat for this guy right here.
This heater.
For this heater right here. I'm sorry, and that's just and does that need to be on every winter? Or?
Yeah.
It does.
I would clean out whatever, spray it out with air hose, see if it works. Make sure it's on, like, not high, but so it keeps this area cool, warm.
Okay. All right.
Any recommendation to sanitize the system? I know that's something Brett asked about earlier.
As far as what? Like,
you just said that. So we tried to fix this earlier, and Brett was like, "Oh, the system looks like it might need to be sanitized based on what he saw," and I just didn't know.
I don't know what he would be sanitizing.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
something Brett
this
said.
would probably need to be replaced. Like redoing the insulation and stuff like that in here.
So here's why Nicholson had to come out today. They would have had to come out to replace this, but because this was replaced, and these 2 little buttons here,
those weren't pressed.
Those are reset buttons.
Okay.
Thermal overload protection.
Overload protection. So
sometimes you got to press really hard on these, but it's working. It's operational now. It's running 25 amps, which is pretty normal. The service factor is 27.5 on this thing, so it's running right where it needs to be. But
so that's all that we needed to do was to press those 2 guys. And then, Chris, is there any other periodic maintenance that you can think of while we've got you out here that we should employ you to do?
Right now, no. I mean, everything seems to be operational. But I would recommend us getting out here and doing this at least once a year, making sure that the systems, so we can keep an eye on it, making sure that the motor's where it needs to be and everything's happy and operational.
Okay. And do you have a service? What do you call that service?
Just a service call.
Just a yearly service call?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So do a yearly service call.
Yep.
What time of the year is best to do that?
Not in the middle of the summer.
Okay.
So
When
midwinter.
Okay.
Fall is a good time. Early spring is a good time for us. In the dead of summertime, probably not the best. I mean, obviously, if you're out of water, we're going to make it a point to get to you, so like we did today.
So we know what position all these are supposed to be in. This thing right here isn't doing anything.
That's
It's
for a Ford generator,
Yeah.
which we've talked about potentially getting just so when the power cuts out.
Right on.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be 60 volts.
It needs to be able to support a 5-horse motor. So you could probably get away with like a 65 kW Honda generator.
A 65 kW on the generator? And he just needs to be able to support 5 horse?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then periodically, like when Henry bought his house, Brett went and flushed the system.
Yeah.
What is that?
Flushing the system?
Yeah.
Just coming out here, just opening this up.
Just opening this piece up that we just did?
kind of flushing it out a little bit, running this.
That just gets some sediment out of the bottom of the tank? That's
Yeah.
all that is? How often should that be done?
Yearly.
Just yearly, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Pretty easy.
So have that pipe put on the bleeder valve under here and do that once a year in order just to go sort stuff out. Okay. And then as far as the nitrate samples and the bacteriological samples that I have to get done this month, I would imagine Brett probably did those at your house, would be my guess. And we need a I don't want to do it from this property because I'm running through rubber hose that could well have bacteria in them.
Anything that doesn't have a frost-free connection, so anything that doesn't flow back, right?
This is
So
analysis of the.
So inside the house.
Yeah, you can do it inside the house as long as it doesn't have an aerator or a common line, right? So it's not a single valve; it's got to be a double valve. So it's got to have a hot and a cold side.
Oh, you don't want it to go and be a mixer faucet.
Correct.
Okay, so no mixer faucet inside the house. Do you have to put bleach up there? Mm-hmm. And what kind of? I just have household bleach.
Yes.
Is that okay, or do I got to get some special product?
That's fine.
And I just go and spray that up into the faucet a little bit, and just desanitize it that way. Okay.
I think Brett did that probably this time last year before he sold the house to us.
Okay.
I think I might have some reports for some of that stuff. If the
You have to do it yearly.
Okay.
Yeah, and then nitrate every other year.
Gotcha.
So bacteria every year, nitrate every 3 years.
Gotcha.
And I need to do both of them this year, and I can pull them both at the same time into their respective containers, right? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So where does the bill go to? What have we got going on as far as the bill?
Was it him?